Hi, my name is Shobha Murjani, and I'm here to share my cancer journey of what I went through in the last one and a half years. I was only in Japan last year. I still remember my dates very accurately. I was in Japan on vacation, and I suddenly felt a lot of a shooting pain on the right side of my chest. I took it very lightly and ignored it. The next day, when I went to the bathroom and showered, only to my surprise did I discover a huge lump there. I was taken aback with shock, as I did think that it was cancer. I still did not take this seriously and went through a few days ignoring it completely until I called a few doctors in Japan. It was absolutely diagnosed as cancer. Now what? Now where? What do I do? Where do I go? I was in total shock, totally shattered. Cancer. It's a word that instigates death instantaneously. My doctors asked me that I had to be operated right away and had to be taken in for surgery. Surgery was imminent on the board, yes, but chemo and radiation, chemotherapy, no, that was not something that I was ready to deal with. It was absolutely not on my charts, and I did not want to go through the repercussions of chemotherapy. Anyways, I flew down. My surgery was taken care of. I had a lumpectomy, and chemo started 3 days later. I was in dire shock. I just couldn't handle it. I still remember that I was shaking and shivering when chemo. It was extremely painful. It was my first experience of my life that I had never ever dealt with. The effects were so taxing. You have cancer, and then you go through a surgery, and 3 days later you have chemotherapy. Now, how taxing was that on the body? Mentally, you are absolutely petrified. You don't know what you're dealing with. You're in absolute shock. Secondly, the body is going through a lot of chemicals in your body which you don't know what is happening. I had my parents on my side, but I was shaking. My oncologist stood over there, and he did not know. He just said, "You have to do this. Be brave, be brave." Be brave and do what? Inflicted more pain in the mind and in the body that was already there. I undertook that chemotherapy in my stride with tears rolling down my eyes. I couldn't help it. I was in dire shock. I was crying. I was howling. There was nothing anybody could do. Chemotherapy, are there any effects that could be better than chemotherapy? Why are we dealing with so much mental trauma? Why are we dealing with so much physical pain? Why did I have to go through all this? What was the reason? What was the detectable cause? And what was it that we could do to help all this from happening? I took the chemotherapy in my stride and did not sleep the whole night. That it was so taxing to the body. I couldn't move the next day. My body felt like stone. You couldn't. My mother had to literally lift me to take me to the bathroom. I was all swollen up and sore. I just couldn't deal with the effects of chemotherapy. It took me a week to actually absorb the chemical in my body. Taxol, Herceptin, I don't know, all these unusual names that the market research has done on it, which the doctors say that these are the best drugs and you'll be fine and you'll be cured. But I was in dire pain. What could be done for this? How could the side effects be handled? Nausea, vomiting, so much of body pain. I lay in bed for those 6 days traumatized to know what my body was going through. It's only then when I discovered that there were a few very nice programs that India had targeted for post-care for cancer patients. Now, this is where I begin. I wanted to get through my chemo cycles rapidly and furiously so that I could be back in the right frame of mind and the right attitude towards life, which this program gave me. The Carer program is totally inclined for post-care cancer patients. I actually started this imminently after my chemotherapy, only to realize that I started coming back into normalcy. Carer program directs you towards a very holistic approach into your actual frame of mind, which has been so disrupted and so distorted for so long. Your identity, your emotions, your physical imbalance, everything has been taken away. I actually came upon this program that was of so much of value, and it helped me tremendously that I couldn't help sharing this with you on board. A lot of people need this holistic, integrated approach, which actually targets so many aspects of life. It has to do with yoga that completely balances your mind. Nutrition, which is the most important aspect, because chemotherapy is completely poisonous to the body, and it does kill all the good cells in the body. How are we going to replenish all this? By the right nutrition, which Carer gives you the entire list of nutritional valued foods that are absolutely best for the human body. Okay, it takes care of all the negative emotions that we have dealt with on this very painful journey. And how do we get it back? It's through this program, this holistic approach, whereby we are given so much care, that is why it is called Carer. Its name is totally synonymous with what it does. Carer has the best expertise in their knowledge and their team of specialists like Luke Coutinho and many others that absolutely serve the right needs for the body that has been totally damaged at that time. The Carer program is so effective because when you are in that phase of dealing with the cancer, these programs online help you deal with cancer. You don't want to meet people, you don't want to deal with the stress, you don't want to see doctors, you don't want any hospitals. This is when this program comes of immense help to you, when it's personalized on a one-on-one, and if you need their help, you can go and seek their expertise and their advice. The Carer program really helped me because I did not have to move out of my comfort zone. I lay in bed totally distraught, wearing a bandana. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to meet people. So Carer came of so much use to me at that point because of the online program. And if I ever needed anything from that particular program, I could just ask them to put me on board to the specialists that were concerned in that particular aspect of what we were dealing with. I didn't have to call up doctors, run to hospitals, and be in these queues waiting for me to be, when this was an online program that was totally efficiently dealt with. I was so happy with it that I started to bounce back very quickly, and today I can totally say that I'm a very healthy and fit person, and I have battled and fought cancer very, very bravely. I can say with absolute confidence that right after my chemotherapy and the Carer program, I bounced back and I fought cancer so bravely that it did not affect me, that I ever had that disease. I cleared my first test completely and totally clear and cleaned out. My oncologist was shocked to know that I had already become a more healthier person instead of being in that victim stage for so long. Cancer, we can definitely fight it. We're survivors, and thank you so much for Carer for helping us so much with this program. that has been of immense value and benefited me completely and made me to an absolutely new